Hi, I'm Phil Kirkman and I'm the course leader for the MBA in Educational Leadership and Management. The MBA is a distance course which is 2 years, part-time, and we on the course it's one module per term that you'll take. It's really for educational leaders or people who are looking to be leaders in education or who are looking for promotion into that kind of leadership role. It could be just leading a class at a university or at a school, or it could be leading a department, or it could even be leading a university. The course is a September start course, and it really differs from the MBA because the MBA is differs from the MA because it's more applied, and along with the MPQH, it's one of the two options which will be particularly important if you want to work as a head teacher in the UK. So it's a necessary qualification if you want to take up that role. And often internationally as well, in international schools, they want people to be to have MBAs if you're going to be in a leadership role. However, it's not just for people in school. If you're looking to be in any kind of leadership role which is to do with education, then this is the course for you. Really, if you're in school, if you're in university, if you're in student services, or if it's a more teaching focused role, we've even had medical doctors on the course or people from industry. So the key thing is that you're in an educational role of some kind at the moment, that you're committed to being a great leader, that you're willing to learn and reflect on your practice, and that you're willing to apply what you've learned to your practice throughout the course. It's a work-based course, so that's why we need you to be in an educational role, because we really take all of the work that we do as active live projects. So it really draws on your thinking, it draws on what you're doing in your practice at the moment and encourages you to reflect and think about what you're doing, drawing on what we already know, drawing on the literature and research and drawing on good practice. But don't worry, there's lots of support for people. If you're somebody who's returning to education, you might have had a break. A lot of people in leadership roles perhaps have been out of education for a little while, and so you sort of might be worried about that. There's lots of one-to-one support for you, so that we can ease you into the writing process and the thinking process and sort of engaging with the literature on that level if that's something which is not quite as familiar as it might have been previously. The course follows it's quite a well-established structure now. It's a tripartite structure where we split the course into three sort of distinct sections, which they're integrated, but we see them sort of as very complementary. There's a core set of core content, there's a set of extended content, and then there's a set of personal resources or personal content, if you like. The core content is that's the things that everybody does. So these are the course readings, it's the course assignments, it's the tasks which we need you to engage with in order to kind of pass the module and to do the basics. We then have a large set of extended content, which includes things like seminars, videos, extension activities, discussions, extension readings as well. And that's really to allow for the fact that we're focusing on educational leadership, but the application of that leadership to different organisations is going to look slightly different depending on where you're coming from. So what we do with these extension activities is provide resources which allow you to reflect on how the theories and the ideas that we're working with apply in your context, but also to discuss that with other people and see not just the similarities but the differences as well. So this is very much not just about understanding your organisation, but it's understanding your organisation and its position within the wider context of a kind of educational systemic infrastructure, both nationally and internationally. And then as well as the extended content, we have the personal one-to-one tutorials, and this is where we take the opportunity to have in-depth discussions about your work as you're going through the assignments, as you're thinking about your organisation, as you're doing the readings, and they really are on an as-needed basis. So across the term, people request tutorials as and when needed, and we can give you that support. I'm either looking for literature, or if you found some literature to help you sort of go through it and make sense of it, or it might be about structuring essays, it might be giving some formative feedback on work in progress, it might be helping you think through some of the sort of nitty-gritty issues about your organisation. So it's very much tailored to the individual to help you apply the learning your context and to your learning. This is quite a unique structure, but the fact that it's a distance course allows us to do that. It means it's quite flexible, and we can fit around your the needs of your organisation, the needs of your day-to-day job, and it also means that the course is really very personalised to your needs and to the needs of your organisation. So as I mentioned before, the course is split across one module per term. That means we do 6 modules across the 2 years part-time. And we cover sort of learning areas such as leading educational change and improvement. So that's really thinking about what is leadership and how is it different from management, and what does it mean to instigate a change process? How do you write a good action plan? How do you make sure that that action plan is followed and meets the needs of your organisation? We think about strategic management as well, and we think about what it means to be strategic and not just think about sort of short-term gains, but to think more longer term as well. We think about understanding organisational structures and relationships between different organisations, types of organisations, and we also think about systems leadership and how organisations fit within the whole infrastructure of education and the sort of wider infrastructure of the economy and of national systems, international systems. And as well as this, we sort of have a parallel track which engages really deeply with existing knowledge, not just research literature, but practice literature as well. And the idea behind that is we're trying to glean the best from practice and the best from research so that we can build on that existing knowledge of theory and practice, apply that in different ways to different organisations in a sort of creative and developmental way. So if this sounds like it's up your street, we'd love to hear from you. Apply via the website, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks very much.